165 years of data. And actually, what we've got here, so we got silver in the silvery color here, and we got oil in the red color. And as you'll see, both have moved, together over this entire period, pretty much, and up and down. And the correlation over this extended time horizon is 86%, which is very significant over such a long period. And and what was also fascinating, what I found was we have seen, we've seen instances, very clear instances where silver has actually tended to rise ahead of oil. So we saw this play
Mm.
out in the 70s here, in the early 70s, where this grey line of silver moved ahead of oil, with the red line slightly lagging behind. And then we saw it again in the late 70s, where again the grey line moved up and the red line was just slightly behind. So we have seen historically, we saw it in the 70s where silver moved ahead of oil. And as you'll see more recently during the COVID, just after the COVID crash that we saw in silver and oil, we saw silver begin its move up slightly ahead of the red line again. The red line sort of peaked slightly after the grey line did. So again, oil responded later to the COVID shock that we saw, and the reflation than silver did. And what we've seen over the last 18 months is silver has begun to rise significantly, and oil's still sort of consolidating down and hasn't yet responded. So, to me, silver could almost be signaling something that oil might be on the cusp of a major move to the upside once this sort of economic weakness over the next 12 to 18 months kind of clears out. So it is fascinating that silver's moving ahead, when it historically kind of leads oil, if we go back. So yeah, it's an interesting development, definitely.